Next on Westmoreland Saturday morning, it's Heritage Happenings brought to you by St. Vincent College here on 98.7 Westmoreland Gold, 1480 WCNS, and westmorelandgold.net.
Greetings, Westmoreland County. My name is Jessica Petrovich, and I am your Discover Westmoreland Director and host of Heritage Happenings here on 98.7 Westmoreland Gold, 1480 WCNS, and westmorelandgold.net, sponsored by St. Vincent College. Heritage Happenings is also available as a podcast on all of your favorite streaming services. Please check out Westmoreland Heritage at westmorelandheritage.org and on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates on cultural and historical events throughout Westmoreland County. We have an entertaining show planned for you today. We will be joined by guests from the Mount Pleasant Glass and Ethnic Festival, the Compass Inn Museum and Ligonier Valley Historical Society, and Westmoreland Performing Arts. Our first guest, Jeff Landy, representative for the Mount Pleasant Glass and Ethnic Festival, is on call with us this morning. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us on today's show.
Well, thank you, Jessica, for having me.
Absolutely. So first, the Mount Pleasant Glass and Ethnic Festival is a beloved tradition in the Westmoreland County and greater region. Jeff, could you share with our listeners a brief history of how this festival came to be?
Well, 35 years ago, the mayor approached me. He was a new mayor, and that was Jerry Lucia, and he wanted to do a festival for the town. So I never knew Jerry. I didn't even know who he was. So first I said no. But then, if anybody knows Jerry, he didn't take no for an answer. And so we started it, and we became very good friends because of it, and we did everything together because of it. And recently, he just passed away. So this is the first year in 35 years that I don't have a co-chairman.
Wow.
But we wanted to do it for the town, and we wanted to honor the heritage of glass in the community. We wanted to showcase Mount Pleasant by bringing in people to see, our Main Street's pretty strong. And we wanted to showcase the whole town itself and let the nonprofits make money.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's the history.
Yeah, and so this year's festival is, correct me if I'm wrong, is it you mentioned the 35th one coming up this year?
Right.
Yes, so if you could give everybody the dates, any sort of special happenings that are going on, any booths that they should definitely check out, parking, etc., all those fun details. Okay,
so real quick, we're the only festival in Pennsylvania that's honored in the Library of Congress.
Wow.
And we were honored there because we represent the local legacies of the United States. And so we were honored back in the year 2000 for that. The dates are September 23rd, 24th, 25th. We have a big parade on Main Street, the 24th at 2 o'clock. This year, we're bringing in a national touring act called Molly Hatchet. They're like a $30 ticket.
Wow.
But we're showing them for free.
Oh, that's excellent.
To celebrate the anniversary. Nightly, we do a lighted balloon launch nightly. And we let families do that together. We have fireworks on Sunday at around 7. Our hours are 11 to 10, so we're open at night. And that's really the best time to come.
With all the lights and magical happening. Yes.
Yeah, it's like a magic atmosphere.
Yes.
We have 3 stages of entertainment, and we also have an area called Old Town, which is where some cabins are located, so you get to experience some of the old town stuff.
Is that near where the Historical Society is located?
That's exactly where it's at.
Oh, perfect. Well, and that's another wonderful organization to check out while you're down there for the Glass and Ethnic Festival. And Jeff, let me ask you too, so for someone in the community looking to volunteer with the festival in the future, how should they go about doing that?
Call 724-547-6745.
Wonderful. And should they ask for you? Okay.
I'm here. That's my number.
Excellent. Well, is there anything else?
You were talking about parking.
Yes.
It is very crowded at our festival. We do shuttle bus from Walmart. We do shuttle bus from Main Street.
Oh, wonderful.
And we do shuttle bus from the old Lennox plant.
That's
on our
nice
website,
to have
all
those
the
options.
schedule's there. Yeah, and on our website, the schedule's there.
Excellent.
And it's free. We don't charge the shuttle.
Perfect. Free shuttle. That is good for everybody listening to know. And I think, is there anything else that you would like to share from the Glass and Ethnic Festival, Jeff?
We have 28 really good ethnic food booths. Really good.
Yum.
And we have lots of crafts. There's always something for people to eat and do.
Wonderful. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Jessica, for letting me talk about the big event we have in town.
Of course. And please check out the Mount Pleasant Glass and Ethnic Festival at MT Pleasant, Mount Pleasant Glass and Ethnic Festival.com. And you can also find them on social media. This is Heritage Happenings, the show with the latest information on Westmoreland County cultural and historical events and organizations. I'm Jessica Petrovich. Thanks to our sponsor, St. Vincent College, for supporting our show today. Our next guest, Tony Marino, co-founder of Westmoreland Performing Arts, is on our show today. Tony, thank you so much for being here in person.
It is my great pleasure. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Doing great. It's fall outside, which makes me feel good. So it's officially back to school, and I know many of your talented performers always look forward to the fresh fun that the fall season brings to Westmoreland Performing Arts. So if you could talk about some of the offerings that your organization has for students this fall.
Absolutely. We started a new semester August 27th, and it is in full swing at our studios on 1608 Broad Street in South Greensburg. It is the old Broad Street Dairy, for those of you that know that area. And it has been a blast so far. We have about close to 100 students in all of our age groups. And we go ages 4 to 8 for our little ones. We call those our shooting stars. And then from 8 to 14, we call those our tweens, because we don't like to cut it off at 12, because there are some 13-year-olds who still feel more comfortable in the younger age group, and we're very sensitive to that. And then, of course, our teens that go up to 18. We also have programs for our special need friends, people of all abilities. They're called, and this is a group that has been with us for a long time, and we actually came up with a new name last year. Renata, my lovely wife Renata, who teaches that class and is our executive director, she gave them the opportunity to name their group, and the name they came up with was the Big Dreamers Broadway Squad.
Oh, that's amazing.
So the Big Dreamers Broadway Squad meets on Fridays at 4:30, and that is for all ages, all abilities. And it is we have everybody, the entire spectrum of people of all abilities, and they are in a tremendous group, and they get together and put together a show that performs in December. And then we also have our homeschool group that also meets on Fridays in the afternoon from 11 to 1. And if you want to find out information about any of these or our classes or what we offer age groups, you can always call 724-672-3322 or go to our website at www.westmorelandperformingarts.com, and you can check out everything we do. We also always have the opportunity for you to try a class for free. Everybody's allowed to come try, and you're actually allowed to try every class we have one time for free.
Oh, okay. Nice little loophole. That's wonderful.
And it's a loophole that we are more than welcome to give people. You know. So we have started that. We have our classes up and running. A great way to get started, by the way, in those classes is we have a Saturday showcase class that actually ends with a performance every 8 weeks, and that meets from 10 to 11 for our shooting stars, 11 to 1 for our tweens, 1 to 3 for our teens. So you can always come stop by and check that out. A couple of cool new things for students we have offered this year. We are doing once a month cabarets.
Ooh,
our
nice.
first one is actually going to be on Friday. It's this Friday. So what Friday is that, Jessica?
It'll be the Friday right before this episode airs.
Oh, okay. So
it'll be a
retrospective, but it'll happen every Friday, and it's going to be open to the community. But it's driven by our students. It's called Backstage on Broad Street.
Nice.
And our students came up with that name, and it gives them a chance. We have so many kids now who, and this is just a thing. There are so many kids now who create music. My son, as well as being a professional actor, also has an EP that he's preparing. And,
wow.
And they all, there's so many of them that want to come and do that because, our society is so, especially entertainment-wise, is driven by YouTubers and TikTokers that do that kind of thing.
It's so funny. I was just thinking about this the other day. I don't know what prompted me, but I was watching some really old YouTube video, and they mentioned MySpace in it.
Oh, my gosh.
And just thinking about how, artists and creators, are able now to have their own platforms. They don't have to go with a big record label, and so being able to foster that is so amazing.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And because we're all working artists that run WPA, we understand the business is huge. So to have that, if you go to a city and decide I'm going to be an actor, that's one thing. But if you go to a city and decide you're going to be an artist, that's a different thing. Because now you can do your music at open mic nights and maybe pick up money this way. You can teach, you can do this. So that's what we're trying to encourage kids to do. There are some that are going to, like my daughter's at University of the Arts in Philadelphia, and she's loving it, and she just wants school to be over so she can audition in New York. That's her thing, But then there are other kids like my son who just got done doing a Front Porches show and is booked to do other shows. But in the meantime, he's making his own music. So we say this to the studio all the time. So the show that would have happened last night is actually featuring like 10, 15 of our students, and anybody who wants to come, we're going to pass the hat. But it's really about giving these kids an opportunity to show what they can do.
Oh, that's fabulous.
And then the other thing we have going on, so that's backstage on Broad Street. And then we have our opening show of our season, Wizard of Oz, coming up.
I just saw, I think you did a press release that I got in my inbox.
Yes, I did. The 23rd through the 25th, that's at Westmoreland County Community College. We work with Carrie Bailey and the gang at WCCC. They are tremendous people, fantastic supporters of the arts, and just good friends. And they have a beautiful theater, and that's where our season will be. We're still planning on having one show at the Palace later in the year, but we'll talk. That's for down the road. But our season starts off with The Wizard of Oz, and then we're bringing back Rocky Horror.
Yay!
Halloween weekend. Yes, exactly. And then our Christmas show, around Christmas, first week of December, is going to be Cinderella, the Enchanted Edition.
Beautiful.
So, which everybody's very excited about because, it's Cinderella. So it is really a family-friendly season. It's all about families, and it's also all about community. Our shows like Cinderella, Wizard of Oz, we're currently working on. We have 3 equity actors and some local professionals, and then we have our students, and that's the ethos of WPA, to have like my 4-year-olds who are in my 4-year-old program doing a scene with Catherine Harkins, who's a Pittsburgh actress we've known forever, we've taught forever, as our Dorothy, and then there's Alex Noble, equity actor, and Kevin and Renata, and so on and so forth. So it's the whole idea is that sense of community that we try to create.
You've created the perfect segue, because my next question is community support is a huge part of what keeps organizations like the arts in business. So if you could share for anybody interested how perhaps as an adult volunteer, how they could become involved with Westmoreland Performing Arts or a support system in another way.
Well, the whole idea for all of us as arts organizations now is to make our tent as big as possible. And so we turn down no help. You want to come and help with costumes, you want to come and you were on stage in high school and you've gotten away from it, but there's part of you that's always loved it. We have an opportunity in our shows like Cinderella or Wizard of Oz or whatever to come and be a part of that, because then you get to work with other professionals and you get to work with kids, and it's just a great feeling. So, and also we are in the middle of getting our full nonprofit status. In the meantime, there's a great thing called the Allied Arts Foundation out of Seattle, Washington, that provides umbrella nonprofits for people who are applying for there. So we're actually allowed to accept donations through them.
Wonderful.
And you can reach out to us and contact us, and we can tell you how to do that. And they're tax deductible. And then the Allied Arts Foundation gives us the bulk of it, and they keep a small percentage. But it's a great thing because I don't know if everybody knows this, but the IRS is a little backed up.
They have a lot going on right now.
So when the first time we did a nonprofit 20 some years ago, it took about 6 months, and this time we applied and they said, it's going to be a year. It takes that long.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, shocking.
Wow.
But we immediately reached out to Allied Arts in Seattle, Washington, and they are very great. It's amazing the level of personal help they give you, even though they're way out in Seattle. So that is a great way to get involved. And we're always accepting donations of dresses, props, things like that. Because a theater company and School for Performing Arts is building up all of that.
Yes.
Again, so it is imperative to try to get, like, we just got like 3 bicycles given to us because we put it out there that we needed a gulch bicycle. Mrs. Gulch. So yeah, things like that would always be helpful. And also, if you are a community organization, like I just got a call from the Greensburg Garden Center today, they needed an MC for their upcoming event. That is the sort of thing that WPA is all about. If you have an event, we have a great group called The Vibrations, about 40 kids who sing and dance. They're going to have a fantastic Christmas show. Bring them to your event. We ask for a small donation, but if you can't do it, we're never going to say no, because it gives them a chance to be on stage, and it gives the community a chance to have professional entertainment to help their event. So you have something going on. We're also we're going to be handling the entertainment for Light Up Night at Westmoreland Mall.
Oh, wonderful.
Very excited
Yay.
about that. Yeah, so we'll be welcoming Santa and having pods of performers and so on and so forth. So that comes up November 18th at Westmoreland Mall. It's back. So let's pack the mall.
Yes.
Leave the casino for a few minutes. Come over, see Santa. Then you can go back to
you can have your Christmas cheer.
Exactly. Right. It'll cheer you up if you've just lost at the craps game. Right.
That's perfect. Okay. Wow. In our last 2 minutes here, anything else special to share from Westmoreland Performing Arts? And I love that you've hinted towards November, because it's entering my favorite time of the year.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing that actually we're going to be working with Westmoreland Heritage, which was at the 250.
Yes.
We are so very excited about, this area is so incredibly rich in history. 1,000,000 years ago, I wrote a musical about the French and Indian War with my my dear departed friend Warren Shire, and we are hoping to create something with all of the arts organizations in this area that celebrate the enormous history of this region. It's Westmoreland's
so
250.
Exciting.
I'm sure you've talked about it 1,000,000 times. We're incredibly excited because I've always thought this area could be a destination for one of those outdoor dramas, because the amount of history we have with Washington and the battlefields and so on and so forth, and right up the road,
Hannahstown.
Thank you, Hannahstown,
Yes.
right, which has an incredible story.
Yes.
So that is something that we're all really looking forward to.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm sure. And you are leading the charge, and you are an easy person to want to work with and get behind. So thank you for creating that synergy.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Yeah, and small plug, next year is Westmoreland County's 250th anniversary, so stay tuned on that. Well, Tony, thank you so much for your time this morning.
My pleasure.
Please check out Westmoreland Performing Arts at westmorelandperformingarts.com and on social media, and you can call 724-672-3322 for any questions you may have. This is Heritage Happenings, the show with the latest information on Westmoreland County cultural and historical events and organizations. I'm Jessica Petrovich. Thanks to our sponsor, St. Vincent College, for supporting our show today. Our next guest, Dr. Emily Barth, head docent and museum interpreter at the Compass Inn Museum and Ligonier Valley Historical Society, is on call with us today. Dr. Barth, thank you so much for being on call.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. So my first question, I know that you were intimately involved with the creation of Compass Inn Museum's newest exhibition, The Fabric of Our Lives, 1,000 Years of Textile Innovation. So could you please talk about that exhibit and the process that led to it opening? I'm so excited to learn about this.
Yes. Well, the initial inspiration came from my personal experience as a weaver. And last year I had the opportunity to attend a hands-on workshop on 18th century weaving styles, which really opened my eyes to the real-life history behind some of the underappreciated hidden gems in the Ligonier Valley Historical Society's collection. So, for instance, in that workshop, I got to weave a sample of what's called Venetian carpeting, which became popular in Pennsylvania in the 1800s as a sort of cost-cutting luxury that was affordable even in middle-class homes.
Oh, wow.
And in the it's very interesting to get some sort of down-to-life insight into these old, dusty textiles that we don't often think about. So in the museum's exhibit, we've brought out our own sample of this very same type of antique carpeting from about 200 years ago. And you wouldn't know to look at it, but it's actually a rag rug made from repurposed cotton fabric strips.
Oh, my
that
goodness.
are completely covered up.
And this was in the collection from the Historical Society?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, so we kind of had it back in our archives, and this is a chance to bring it out for the public to see.
Oh, that's amazing.
And what might surprise you if you could see it in person is that the wool stripes in the rug make a shockingly vibrant rainbow.
Oh.
And I don't know about you, but I don't think of Technicolor rainbows when I think of antique textiles.
No,
from the 1800s.
that is not the first color palette that comes to mind.
Right. So this one piece shows us that historical textiles were actually much more bright and multicultural or multicolored than you might realize.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And this is kind of what we wanted to do with the exhibit, to take a literally dusty old topic and bring it to life by focusing on who made these things and how they did it.
Oh, well, I love that so much. And for the exhibition, what are some of the other interesting items that you have on display?
Well, the great thing about our changing exhibit space is that we're able to bring out parts of our collection that aren't normally seen by the public. So in addition to our spinning wheels and looms, we've got antique crazy quilts and shawls and coverlets and dresses from the 19th century in all different fabrics in wool, cotton, and silk.
You called them crazy quilts? Is that right? What is that?
Crazy quilts. Yes. Well, the quilters out there might be familiar with these, but they're a sort of patchwork quilt embroidered all together with scraps of precious fabrics.
Oh my gosh.
And velvets and the like.
Wow.
And so we have more than one of these. The crazy quilts became popular in the later 1800s and into the early 20th century, especially in Victorian times. I think Queen Victoria had some crazy quilt pillows that really made them popular with the public.
I have never heard of that. Now, I am not at all in the quilting or knitting or crocheting world, so as a total outsider, that just captured my attention so quickly. What a fun name and something to learn about. Wow.
Well, it was quite the craze, and it had its fans and its detractors. So one thing I brought out for the exhibit was a poem published back in the 1800s that's really quite scathing about how awful these crazy quilts are.
Oh, my goodness. That's amazing. And Dr. Barth, let me ask you, too, so in order to see this exhibition, you want to attend, of course, the Compass Inn Museum and Ligonier Valley Historical Society. What are the details for being able to view these items that are on display? Are there certain times that members of the public should go?
Right, great question. Well, this is just a regular exhibit that's open during our regular opening hours, which are Tuesday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. through the end of October.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And the Compass Inn Museum is just right off of the classic Lincoln Highway, Route 30, a little bit past Ligonier in the beautiful Laughlin town. So make sure to stop by and visit. And Dr. Barth, do you have any information to share? I'm so curious about the Pale Blue Eye. So for those of you who are listening who may not remember, this was a Netflix series that was partially filmed at Compass Inn Museum at the end of last year. So I would love if you have any update at all to share, even if the update is that there's no update yet.
Yes, well, I can't tell you very much, but I am excited to see it with the rest of you.
Yes.
The Netflix movie is based on a book of the same name, The Pale Blue Eye, by Louis Bayard, and it's a gothic crime thriller starring Christian Bale as a veteran detective who investigates a series of murders at West Point in 1830. And he's helped by a detail-oriented young cadet who will later become the world-famous poet and author Edgar Allan Poe.
I love it.
Played by yes, he is played by an actor from the Harry Potter franchise named Harry Melling. He played
amazing.
Harry's cousin Dudley Dursley. So the tavern scenes from the movie were filmed at Compass Inn Museum last December, and we understand there will be a limited theatrical release on December 23rd of this year before it starts streaming on Netflix on January 6th, 2023.
Oh, so exciting. Okay, thank you. You've satiated my curiosity for now. That is
very
amazing.
good.
And my final question for you here, Compass Inn Museum is gearing up for a full and festive fall season. And I know Compass Inn's events at this time of year are just the best. So if you could talk about some of those amazing events that members of the public can attend, how they can get tickets, or other information that you have to share.
Sure. First of all, I do encourage everyone to come and visit that exhibit.
Yes.
Which is open from from now through the end of October in our regular open hours. But beyond that, our next upcoming special event is Hair-Raising History, Frightfully True Stories from the Ligonier Valley, which takes place over Halloween weekend, October 28th to 30th from 6 to 9 p.m. And be sure to enter our annual pumpkin carving contest that weekend as well, which has cash prizes.
Very nice. Perfect way to get in the Halloween spirit.
That's right, exactly. And we'll be kicking off our candlelight season after that with tours on weekend evenings in November and December. So for more information on these and all of our events, you can visit our website, www.compassin.org, and tickets can be purchased at the door.
Excellent. Dr. Barth, anything else to share from Compass Inn Museum?
That's it. We just hope to see you there soon.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Please check out Compass Inn Museum and the Ligonier Valley Historical Society at compassin.org and on social media. This is Heritage Happenings, the show with the latest information on Westmoreland County cultural and historical events and organizations. I'm Jessica Petrovich. Thanks to our sponsor, St. Vincent College, for supporting our show today. We are happy to share that U.S. News and World Report has ranked St. Vincent College as a top-tier national liberal arts college for the 13th consecutive year. U.S. News and World Report's 2022-23 rankings are based on several key measures of quality, including graduation and retention rates, assessment of excellence by peers, faculty resources, social mobility, admission selectivity, and alumni engagement. St. Vincent is moving forward, noted Father Paul Taylor, OSB St. Vincent College president, not only remaining a top-tier national liberal arts college, but advancing in the rankings overall and in social mobility. U.S. News and World Report includes schools whose national liberal arts rankings emphasize undergraduate education and award at least half of their degrees in the liberal arts fields of study. A total of 210 institutions were selected for inclusion, with St. Vincent College ranked in a tie for number 120, rising from last year's ranking of 146. St. Vincent College also increased its ranking among national liberal arts colleges on U.S. News and World Report's list of top performers on social mobility, moving from 73 to 66. This ranking is based on St. Vincent College's successful retention and graduation rates of economically disadvantaged students and Pell Grant recipients. From our very beginnings, Boniface Wimmer enrolled students who could not find education elsewhere, often the immigrants and the poor, added Father Paul. Today, St. Vincent College welcomes students from all walks of life to provide a transformative education that propels them further than their circumstances predict. Because of our resources, students with financial need will succeed here. Boniface Wimmer wrote in 1854, "To all who knock, the door is opened. Whoever stays is good." This is the 38th year in which U.S. News and World Report has released its college rankings. Along with national liberal arts colleges, the publication also ranks schools in 3 other categories: national universities, regional universities, and regional colleges. That's all we have time for today. Be sure to stay safe and healthy. Take some time to visit and enjoy our Westmoreland County cultural and historic sites and events. And of course, be sure to check out St. Vincent College and all of its recent accomplishments. Follow Westmoreland Heritage on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out all of our information on westmorelandheritage.org. This has been Jessica Petrovich, your Discover Westmoreland Director and host for Heritage Happenings here on 98.7 Westmoreland Gold, 1480 WCNS, and westmorelandgold.net, sponsored by St. Vincent College. Heritage Happenings is also available as a podcast on all of your favorite streaming services. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. Until next time.
How will your college experience transform you? How will you learn to make a difference in your life and the lives of others? At St. Vincent College, we attract high-achieving students who quite naturally place we ahead of me. A small college like St. Vincent gives you more access to the opportunities that will shape your future.
At St. Vincent College, we succeed. Together.
Discover the power of we. Learn more now at stvincent.edu.